reflect on this thought that there is only one real self that is always the same, that is not changing, the rest is changing. I identify myself with the change, so I am in ignorance. Yes, it is coming up, whatever is coming from your mind. It is something deep inside. It is, it is happening, but it has to come outside.
Well, but anything what can come from my mind is already about something change.
Yes, let this mind should also become aware that there is something that never changes. This mind, as long as it identifies with the world outside body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego, as long as it perceives, see that, just close your eyes. Eyes are closed. There is a change. Eyes were open and eyes are closed. Just become aware. Everything that is coming from the mind, as you said, that is also coming from the mind. This thought is also coming from the mind. Redefine the word. What to redefine the word? Just an awareness. What is that? In that awareness, I see whatever is changing is the word. But at the same time, you become aware of the mind also, internalizing. Internalizing the mind means last time we discussed about meditation. That is the way the mind is working on the mind itself. Thought comes, good. No thought is there, good. Mind jumps onto the body, good. It leaves the body, good. Why both are good? Why does it change? Any thought, feeling, image, perception, just become aware the world has entered into you, into the mind. Word has entered into the mind. So when we discussed in last couple of sessions that it doesn't want to leave. Why it doesn't want to leave? That you become aware of it now. Why doesn't want to leave? Because of attachment. So we don't see that attachment in the mind clearly, but that is how we understand. This is how we understand, my friend. What we are seeking a knowledge. So there are a lot of points to gather. So the mind is not able to, uh, I would say, merge all the points that we talk in different talks. That is the issue. What we just understood, what is understood? We understood that The word enters into the mind. That's why the mind knows. That's why the mind understands. That's why the mind says, I do not understand. That's why the mind says everything is same. No issue. We just become aware. So the mind is knowing inside. Knowing means I'm separate from what is happening in the mind. So I see the world outside. Any change in the thought, feeling in the body, recalling of any impression in the mind. First, it is because of attachment or vasana. Second, it is ready to give me sorrow and the suffering. But why I am not suffering now? Because I'm aware that this is not me. I am simply aware. So there is no chance of delusion. Just see it in the field of a knowledge. Awareness, I can use different words, but it's a matter of awareness. Oh, then what happens to the mind? This mind says, wow, is this the way to meditate? Answer is yes. There is no but and if. And I can tell you when there is no but and if, the mind is ready to leave this world. Again, understand that leaving the world does not mean that your mind starts thinking. It simply means this is not me. Now, see the internal movement. The intellect understands, receives the knowledge, it's not a big deal. But the mind, because of its mind says, I am the world, and world is the mind. That problem is there. So we say, now everything is happening internally. What we say, our center of life is non essential changing. Pay attention. The mind is colored with non essential changing, and from there, the mind puts a big question mark that everything is known and experienced by the mind cannot take me there. Why? Mind is already colored with the world. So the mind is aware of the world, of the change. It knows that this is not me. The mind instantly moves to the essential. As long as this mind creates a web of illusion that how this mind, which is also subject to change, can ever enter into the state. It is only because of the same mind. So we say to the mind, don't start overthinking. Just pay attention. World has changed. Are you aware? Yes. Thought, feeling, sensation. Are you aware? Yes. What more you can be aware? And now see, it is so simple. This body is steady. Does the mind experience? The mind experience, the body is steady. At the same time, the same mind says, but every cell is changing. No doubt. So, can I see the steadiness in the change also? That is the beginning of changing the mind. Changing the perception of the mind. The body is steady. Mind, do you enjoy the steadiness of the body? Or, mind, are you ready to move or engage with the change? No, no, I'm body is steady, I'm enjoying. Eyes are closed, are you enjoying? Not take it habitually. Consciously. Eyes are closed. What is the knowledge? Knowledge is that sense organ cannot see anything inside. But if it cannot see anything, why the heck I have lot of thoughts and feeling and other images? Oh, I understand. Mind, you are entertained by the world outside. You think you are the world. We need an extraordinary awareness. That is what is the meaning that I am a seeker. Now, being comfortable. So, being comfortable and continuing the state of being comfortable, the mind realizes that there is something more than this world of change. Perception, knowledge. Now, see, look at the neck joint. This is purely physical, the world. Then we experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Sensation without consciousness is not possible. Comfort without consciousness is not possible. Steadiness without consciousness is not possible. So, when we live a life of a seeker, we experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness is independent, different from the body that is constantly changing. Same mind, perceiving two different things. Yes, I can say to you that we are confusing the mind. The mind has confused us so much. Mind says, yes, I experience the comfort and steadiness, no doubt. It is coming from within. So being comfortable is to move the mind naturally within. We need not to force. Pay attention. And that can happen all the time. Move the mind on the shoulder joints. So that is an object. I understand it is a word outside. Body is a word. That joint is a word. But now, what is the next layer of experience? Perception, knowledge, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. It is happening in the mind because mind is experiencing it. And before that, perhaps I gave you that step of the practice that what is beyond that is a space. And space is awareness, and awareness is space. That awareness is space, and awareness is happening in the mind. We need mind to know, to express. You are in the highest state of meditation, no communication. Consciousness does not need anyone to express itself. But when we work through the mind, that is why we say we have to be seeker at the mental level. Look at the entire body. Look. Instantly, body is in front of the mind. Am I aware? What is in front of the mind is the world outside. What is in front of my mind? The body, pain, pleasure, attachment, detachment, delusion, illusion, etc., etc., etc. Husband, relationship, wife, money, pain. Oh, so through this same mind, we recognize what is non essential. Non essential keeps changing. Let it change. But I'm aware that I'm not what changes. Why? To know what is essential, knowledge will take place in the mind. What is meditation? There is a constant awareness in the mind through the consciousness. Here is a change, and here is no change. Constant awareness only required of change and what is unchanging. That at least mind can reflect on. Mind is, now we can quantify. Mind is absorbed with change 99%. What is meditation? Meditation is reducing that percentage from 99% to 1%. Why? Am I simply aware? I'm not asking you to do some practice very hardcore. No way. The mind that is occupied with 99% of the change, filled with the impressions, is being reduced, if I say so, 1%. So I'm simply aware how to reduce it. I need not to fight with mind. I'm simply aware. In that perception, in that awareness, once we are aware, we start the internal yoga that I discussed in the last couple of sessions. Breath awareness, let us take breath awareness. Breath awareness. You are simply looking at the breath, which is changing. So, if I say pleasure, to drop the pleasure seeker, that is why we are aware of the breath, right? But does it make a sense to the mind? Awareness continues, that is constant. Breath is constantly changing, that is non essential. Awareness that continues, that is essential. The mind forgets to be aware of the breath, non essential. If it forgets, it will remember again. If I'm a seeker, what the mind is not able to succeed, there are, if I say, two movements. There is a constant awareness is already present. It is constant. Mind returns to something else than the breath, which is known as forgetfulness. So, in order to live into that constant awareness, the moment I remember the forgetfulness of the mind, I return the mind to the breath. But behind that returning is only awareness. Inside. Outside, we are aware of the breath, or not aware of the breath, or we forget, or wandering. Essential and non essential, changing and non changing. So when there is a simultaneous awareness of the change and the unchanging, you are already there. It needs regular practice to make the mind free. I'm very careful today to make any statement, I'm using any phrase, and I'm explaining it so that the mind does not have any doubt about it. One thing is awareness, you say consciousness, whatever you want to say. The other is the mind. And third is the mind is obsessed with the world. So, what I say, look at the breath, and when you look at the breath, you are aware of the breath. What is breath? Breath is the world. Why I cannot focus on the real self? Because mind does not know yet. So, in the beginning, we know it indirectly. How? When we say, when I say, when you forget, you don't forget, the mind forgets. Why it forgets? Because it moves to another part of the world. So there is a constant flow of awareness. It is always there, whether it goes to another thought or whether it goes to the breath. So what the mind is doing, if it goes to the other, you bring it back to the breath. Why? In order to go behind the mind. That is the point. Yes, we discussed having a big home is one thing, and to have a happy home is another. To be aware of the breath is one thing, but to be in the state of meditation is another. What? What is this you are speaking? Yes, this is what it is. In the field of awareness, there is a forgetfulness, there is an awareness of the breath, there is a distraction, there is a wandering. All pertains to the mind. What is the field awareness? So that in that awareness there is a knowledge. What is that knowledge? Oh, my mind went there. What I'm doing, I'm keeping the mind on the breath to know what is behind the mind. That is the thing. That is perhaps what we discussed last time. The mind says, no, I'm tired. Mind says, what is next? These are thoughts and feeling and perception. So instead of choosing this perception, I ask the mind, come on, what you're doing. You look simply looking at the breath. Keep looking at the breath. Forget the rest. Wait. Constant awareness. Yeah, the same thing we let us. Why we have so couple of steps so that the mind should realize its ignorance. Only the mind will be able to realize it. The mind is in ignorance, the mind will realize it. When the mind takes non essential as essential, it behaves like matter, which is inert, moves down. We go back to become a pleasure seeker. So just here aware of the space inside. Leave the breath awareness. First, you are aware of the space. Then, in that space, drop Shantuham with the intellect knowing I am the peace. When I am the peace, it merges into the space. Then, what is left? If the space is left, good. We wait. We are aware of the space again. And then again, drop. Shantuham. Again, there is a space. No, no, space is not there. The thought is there. No issue. Shantuham is also a thought. So we are simply what we are doing. We are not asking the mind to fall into unconsciousness by picking up other thoughts. The moment you have other thought, that is also in the space. So you first see the space. With that awareness, you drop Shantuham, I'm the peace. Shantuham. Thought comes, you look into the space behind the thought. You cannot have any thought without the space. Where is meditation here? My friend, meditation here is uninterrupted flow. We want an uninterrupted flow. What is an uninterrupted flow? Space, Shantoham, space. You don't make, you're not in a hurry. Shantoham, space, Shantoham. That is in an uninterrupted flow. So what happens? That is where the meditation takes place. Now what happens? You see the space, thought, you say Shantoham, again there is a thought, again you see the space, thought, 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 Shantoham, space. Do you see the pattern, what is happening in the mind? That pattern changes to space only. Shantoham, space, Shantoham. So many interruptions in the beginning, less interruptions, and ultimately all the interruptions are gone. So you have space, Shantoham. Not in a hurry. So what we say in meditation, this Shantoham will drop by itself. What will remain is the space. No object, objectless state. When the mind understands it clearly, practice is realized, we are there. When the mind realizes that it has to do so many things deep inside, that mind is not at all concerned about the body, whether there is a movement or total stillness. In the beginning, obviously, we say stillness is required, but not essential. space, Shantoham, space, Shantoham, space, and space, and space, Shantoham. You see, there is another pattern in the meditation. Moment, Shantoham. Next moment, space. Next moment, space. Next moment, space. Shantoham. Then that moment extends, if I say so. Space, 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 and then comes Shantoham. The mind realizes that it is living in an uninterrupted flow. It drops even Shantoham. That we should know, that we should realize, that we should understand. No doubt, sometime, moment to moment, sometime it will happen, so no worries. Space, thought or a feeling, Shantoham, again thought, thought, thought. So when the thought occurs repeatedly, I need not to worry, it's coming from unconsciousness. Let it come, vasanas, sanskaras, let it come and go. I'm aware of it. That is more important. Because if I'm aware, I can go back to Shantoham. If I'm not aware, these vasanas will take over. Everything is internal. And I see the first stage, space, Shantoham, space, Shantoham. So what we can deepen now? Space, space, Shantoham, space, Space. Gentle. And the time comes, even during living our daily life, space continues. No break. Thoughts are on the surface of the space. Let it be. We need that to work in the world, to express. We also understood worry. Unwanted thought enters into the mind. To give a direction to the mind, we pick up any object. It may be Shantoham or the breath, or to see an uninterrupted flow. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Take your time, lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside, know your experiences, and bring the How are you, sir?
Excellent.
Yeah, don't.
My mind,
Yeah.
Mind's still moving,
Uh,
but it's okay.
that is what the world is. It is non
Yeah,
essential and you are aware of it. But
yeah.
if you drag it, you are gone. You are independent of it, you are there. Do you see that?